Hello. Thank you all so much for joining. Are you ready for another Mystery Mystic Monday? If you are, please stay tuned. We've got another one, and it's quite a doozy that we're about to delve into. So stay tuned. All right, guys, let's get started with Kierra Coles' reading. So we're going to first open it up with just looking at the overall energies with the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. And we're going to look at the overall energies surrounding Kierra Cole, the people closest to her, particularly the ones who may have had a hand in her disappearance, or if you want to shed insights into where she may be at, we will receive that information, and we thank you. We thank you, Spirit. Okay. B. Door. Shovel. Okay, I'll show you guys in a moment what the cards are. Dove. Storm. Okay. All right, so Kierra Coles was 26 when she went missing October 2nd, 2018. She would be, let's see, I think I have it here, 29 years old this year in 2021 that we're recording this video. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit tighter so we can take a closer look at the cards. So we have B. And here's the thing about the B card. So the B card is about, this was a hard-working young lady, Kiarra. She was motivated. She was driven when you see the B card. This also could symbolize in terms of who may have known, like know her last whereabouts. It could be someone she works with. It could be someone in her work, like the vicinity of her work. Now, what I understand is that she worked for the United States Postal Service. She also, I think she was doing Uber. So, maybe in that capacity. But this was a hardworking, industrious young woman. And she was walking through the door of opportunity here. So we have the door card, and I have my little cheat sheet here. This is a woman who was walking through the door of opportunity. This also could symbolize something surrounding her disappearance. So that she willingly opened the door for, that she willingly opened her life up to. Since we're speaking specifically about who she is as a person, but also her disappearance. So door, okay? The door card is about choices that she's made, entering a new situation. We know that she was expecting a baby, so she was definitely embracing that opportunity for herself. From what I understand, her family was embracing that as well. Now, the door sitting next to the B card is telling me that something about her work ethic, about her drive, about how industrious and driven she was, that whatever that was, someone was trying to close the door to that. But like I said, this also can symbolize someone coming through the door, coming through her door, Now, you could say maybe this was like a home invasion, someone bursting through the door. Not sure about that. When we see the door card, this is about a willingness to open the door or to close the door. Someone closing the door to her, but she was opening the door to someone or a new opportunity. The shovel card, though, also could speak to being buried. It could speak to digging into a particular situation, us digging into the situation. This is about uncovering the truth. This is about the truth being uncovered and it really causing an issue. Okay, she, because of who she was, because of her goals, her ambitions, because of the fact that she had a goal in mind, she was not afraid to unearth something, to make it be known, to dig up something. And for that, someone wanted to close the door to that. Okay. So that's interesting to me. The shovel card in a disappearance reading would tell me that there is something either that needs to be unearthed or will be unearthed, or that something is buried. Someone is buried, okay? Then we have the Dove card. The Dove card is about a transition. It is about a peace, a harmony, a making peace with a transition, a making peace with moving forward into a new area. Now, in other types of readings, it could be about healing. It could be about a blessing, the baby being a blessing. Now, it's sitting between the Storm card and the Shovel card, this pregnancy being unearthed, being realized, somebody finding out, someone who was not as ecstatic as she was, or maybe her family was. Someone really taking quite a bit of issue with the fact that this blessing, this sign of birth, a fruition of happiness was happening. And they either wanted to cover that up, and she was also saying, this is no secret, this is my truth, I want to live it this way. Now, the Storm card is the final card in the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle spread. This card, card number 16, represents turbulent times. It represents danger and troubled emotions. She was in danger, whether she knew it or not. As she proceeded forward with her goals, her ambitions, her drive, this tells me that this caused storms for others surrounding her, and it also caused danger for her. She may or may not have been aware of that danger, okay? So what I'm sensing here is that the pregnancy, her willingness, her drive to do this, to move forward with it, was a problem. Her willingness to share it, to unearth it, was a problem. And somebody wanted to close the door to that. Somebody wanted to bury that. And someone felt threatened by that. Okay? All right. So we're going to pause here and move on to the next part of the reading. So now we're going to use the Trace Evidence Telling cards. This is concerning Kierra Coles. We know that she was expecting a baby. She was 3 months pregnant, Spirit. Can you give us some insights about what may have happened to her and maybe where she's at or who may have done this? We do know, okay, vehicle. We do know that she's been missing a while, and we'll, we want answers, Spirit. Thank you. We want answers for her loved ones lost. Okay. Anything else that you wish to share with us about Kierra Coles? And then we'll do a tarot and oracle spread. Swamp. Okay. bones, can't escape. Thank you, Spirit. One more, please. One more. If you would be so obliging and so kind to give us one more message. Thank you. Light-colored hair. Okay. We got vehicle, crime scene, karmic partner, searched or lost, being lost, swamp, bones, can't escape, and light-colored hair. And light color doesn't necessarily mean like a person, like a Caucasian person or a blonde hair person. It certainly could be, right? It could also mean someone who dyes their hair, someone who has a gray in their hair, etc. Okay. All right. So, vehicle. So there are clues surrounding what may have happened to her in her vehicle. A crime scene definitely happened in terms of something that happened to her. This card is sitting up over the bones card, and this does not leave me feeling good at all. She's been missing a long time, and this is someone who had a career. She worked for the United States Postal Service. She had a baby. She was, always on social media. She was really connected with her family from all accounts. So lost is telling me that she's lost. Like she needs to be found. And I don't, like, sometimes within this particular deck, I find that if it was someone who ran away, someone who wanted to get away, there would be other cards to demonstrate that. This is someone who would not willingly leave. And this is someone who would want to be found, okay? Karmic partner is concerning. This is telling me someone very close to her, an intimate partner, may have had a hand in what happened to her. Can't escape. Someone, and I'm strongly sensing that this was not just a one-person thing. This was someone who orchestrated it. Murky waters with the swamp card. Emotional turbulence, emotional fighting, things not clear, things very murky emotionally. Now, literally, this could mean a swamp. And I think in my last part of the Tarot and Oracle reading, I do ask specific questions about where she may be at. But this could indicate an area, a marshy area nearby. This also, the crime scene sitting next to the vehicle, there were important clues that could have been captured in her vehicle, around her vehicle, surrounding her vehicle. That may have either been overlooked or not. The bones card sitting next to the swamp card, and you remember that there was the shovel card in part 1 of this reading. The bones card, that also does not bode well. There, bones meaning that they're, that maybe she has crossed over, can't escape. Someone held her against her will. Karmic partner, someone she trusted. The last card, the storm card in the reading that we did in part 1, speaks to storms, stormy emotions. She's in danger. She may not have even realized the gravity of the danger that she was in, but can't escape. This is someone who held her against her will, who harmed her. And the reason why I say that there's two people, now this could be her partner, someone, a karmic partner, someone that she trusted, someone that she had, as some of us talk about a twin flame connection, someone that she was very much emotionally, physically, spiritually, emotionally tied to. But unless he's dyeing his hair, and I'm assuming it's a he, this could represent a woman, someone who plays around with colors in her hair, constantly maybe putting weaves, with weaved color or dyeing their hair. Sure, you could do that with dreadlocks, you could do that with braids, you could do that with wigs, but you could also weave your hair and you could dye it. So this person, definitely more so than anything, this person and this person, light colored hair and karmic partner, could be one and of the same, or it could be two people. And I sense it feels like it's two people that had a hand, at least two people that had a hand in what happened to her, to cause her to not be able to escape, to cause her to be lost from her family. As a result, it led to a situation where there are bones. You guys know, it makes me sad, these readings, but it also, if I have a calling to do them, but it makes me sad nevertheless when I see a card like bones come up, because what we can surmise from this is that she may have crossed over, okay? And not at her doing, sitting under the crime scene. This was not a natural passing. This was not something she did on her own. This was foul play, okay? Clues overlooked with her vehicle. Nearby marshy swamp area, perhaps. That's what I'm picking up here. Okay, guys, I'm going to pause here, snap a picture of this, and move on to part 3. I'll be right back. So now we are at part 3, and this is where we're going to be consulting both the tarot and the oracle. And sometimes I'm not going to consult one or the other. I'm just going to intuitively go with it. First question that we have is, why did Kierra Coles pull out or take out $400 out of the ATM to give to Josh? What was that about? 3 of Wands. Okay, 3 of Wands. What was that about? Why did she do that? Why did she do that? Wave watching. She was trying to be patient. She was trying to show support. She was a believer in their relationship and a believer in showing support, help, to say, okay, we have a future together. I'm patient. I know you have a situation, but I will sit here and wait. I know you're going through some things, and I'm here for you. So to me, I get a sense that this was sometimes a regular occurrence. Some people may not believe that. Some people were mentioning that, oh, that was enough money to have an abortion. But I'm not getting that at all with these wands here with the flames. I sense that this was a regular occurrence for them. And for her that night, she was like, I got you. I'm gonna hold down the fort. I'm doing this for our future. There was something that he, had asked for the week prior, because Wands represents the season of spring and the timing of weeks. So he had already asked for this money. She had already promised. And so he was like, hey, did you remember that I needed this money? And so she was like, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. This was something that she would regularly do, from what I'm picking up energetically on. So there was nothing too out of the ordinary about that, is what I'm sensing here, okay? And I strongly sense with both backs, both people in the images here. Let me show you. Both people are looking off into the distance. She was longing for a future of peace, of harmony, of stability. And so she did that, as many of us young women do when we're in love, to support our man. She was doing it for that reason, okay? That's what I'm picking up on. All right, so what are the energies surrounding? Did Kierra Coles' spirit really call in to work? Did she really call in that day? Was that her? Was that her that did the calling in? By the way, I'm using the Light Seers Tarot. For those who wish to know, I'll try to remember in the description box to put the decks. And then also this particular deck is my one with the Earth Oracle. Hold on. So, Spirit, I want to know, did she call into work? I got the Two of Swords in reverse. Was it her? Grounding. Interesting message. Two of Swords is telling me listen, look at it upright. There's two birds here. Blindfold. And this is about being in a quagmire, being at a stalemate, not knowing what to do. And the Two of Swords in reverse can either mean you no longer are feeling that way, or it can mean even more of that. It also, external forces. Someone was whispering in her ear to call in, to do that, to be the one to call in, take the day off. It's a good day to take the day off. It's a good day to let's work on some things, because there was a catalyst that happened between when she saw Josh that night and then by the morning time. And there was a lot going on between that time, okay? What's interesting that I found out in my little brief research about this case is that in order to call in at the United States Postal Service office, and many jobs, I guess, have now moved towards this direction, where you have to have your employee ID and you call into an automated number. Now, I don't know how, there was conflicting information on this, but this makes sense to me because I've worked for an employer that you would do this, and I've talked to other people who also have this, where you call in to another, you leave a message, you leave your employee ID number, and you say you're calling in. So someone was whispering to her that today would be a good day to just call in. She had every intention to go into work, but because there was something going on majorly that was weighing heavily on her head and on her heart and on her mind, she went ahead and did this because she did the calling in. At first, before I even did this reading, I was thinking, oh, it must have been someone she knew who had her employee ID number. And I'm not logically going to rule that out, but someone definitely was whispering in her ear, telling her it's a good idea. Go ahead and call in. We'll make a good day of it. Let's work some stuff out. We got some stuff to work out here. We need to get on a good foot, a good grounding here. There's a lot to work out here. So she did that. By all accounts, from what I could tell, she had her lunch packed. So the night before and up until early in the morning, she had intentions to go into work like she always do. But someone was whispering in her ear, let's work on some things. Call in. Okay, that's what I'm picking up here. All right. So energy surrounding, how did Josh feel about Kierra Coles' pregnancy, about the baby that they were having on the way? How did Josh feel about this pregnancy? We know her family was feeling great about it. We know she was feeling great. How did he feel? Oh my goodness, the devil. The devil. I'm not going to pull any other cards at this point. I'm not really called to. He wasn't feeling too hot about it. This was his devilish ways may manifest into reality. He was feeling conflicted at times. He was feeling like they were not in a good place at times, even though he may have been on one hand portraying one picture to her, one picture to, maybe even her friends, her family even. But on the other hand, he was not being a good boy with this double card. And I'm saying that nicely. This was a man, and it's no secret. It's out there, in the few articles I could find here, that he had another relationship with another woman. Coincidentally, her name is Kiarra Smith, I believe. And he had a long-term relationship with that woman. So the devil card is not a card that you would necessarily want to see to a question of how does the man feel about a baby on the way? He wasn't feeling too great about it. He was feeling in bondage. He was feeling trapped. You see this? Look here. You see that? The strings here? He was feeling in bondage. He was feeling like everything caught up with him. Okay? That's how he was feeling in terms of the baby. Next question. How did Josh... Okay. Because I think if my memory serves me correctly, I wrote here, how did Josh feel about Kiarra Smith and the baby? And I can't recall if, because I wrote these questions down several weeks ago. How does Kiarra Smith, or how did he feel about Kiarra Smith and the baby? Justice. Okay, so I think he got 2 women pregnant at the same time, if my memory serves me correct. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments. But with Kiarra, it's different, right? It's a totally different energy that we have here with the Justice card. He wanted to be fair with her. He wanted to be just with her. He wanted to portray an image of balance and uprightness and a supportive energy. Whereas with the Devil card, with Kiarra, the person we were doing this reading for who's missing, he was feeling like this is not a great thing. So that's what I'm picking up here with the 2 different. You could see it as night and day on how he was feeling about the babies coming, or about his relationship with these 2 women and a baby coming into the picture with these 2 different women. All right. Next question. Did Josh have anything to do with Kierra Coles' disappearance? What are the energies surrounding whether or not Josh had anything to do with it? We got the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. I'm going to pull out an oracle. Did he have anything to do with the illumination? Okay. And I'm going to pull one more from this deck here. Did he have anything to do? Did Josh have anything? I think his name is Josh Simmons. And of course, he is presumed innocent. We're, just simply doing this reading. Great. That's an interesting card to come up. Father. Okay. Some heavy energies here. When I first look at the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, I certainly feel like he knows some information. He has information. He may have even had a hand in how things unfolded for her, as we see with the Illumination Oracle card. The R word is, it could probably be like, at first, if you took it for face value, and this is the thing about Oracle and Tarot readings, and readers will tell you this, you can't always take things for face value. He may have turned a blind eye to someone who was having a growing rage towards Kiarra. And in his turning a blind eye and in his unwillingness to really confront the issues and to really illuminate things and really share that he had feelings for her and that this was really happening, it set into motion a chain of events, Father card, that led to her demise. Okay, and God, please let me be wrong on that. In terms of, I would love to hear that Kiarra is alive and well, but please let me be wrong on that. That's what I'm picking up here. He knows something. He has a hand in knowing something. His inaction or his inability to be a man in the situation, to really deal with things once they were illuminated, once they were uncovered, unearthed, as we saw with the Shovel card, led to someone who was enraged by the whole thing and may have caused her disappearance. That karmic partner that came up in the part 2 when we were doing the trace evidence telling cards oracle reading, tells me that someone was not happy about that. And who might that be? Who might that be? All right, let's move on to the next question, because I may do part 2 in a separate video just to keep things, separate a little bit on this, because the next part is going to be pertaining to the investigation itself. All right, so, and it'll probably be a much quicker video than this one, but we want to kind of lay out the information here, lay out what I'm picking up on energetically. All right, next up, Spirit, what are the energies surrounding, did Kiarra Smith have something to do with the card jumped, 4 of Wands? Did she have something to do with the disappearance? Daylight, tidal wave. I'm going to pull one card from here. Did she have something to do with the Kiarra family? She's fiercely loyal. Kierra Smith. Not to be confused with Kierra. Kierra Coles is who we're talking about. When something became illuminated, it threatened her family. It threatened her foundation. It threatened what she was building. This is also an ambitious woman that Josh was involved in. Not just Kiarra. Kiarra certainly, and the B card could also speak to the industrious nature of Kiarra Smith. And that was threatened. We see that with the tidal wave. Tidal waves can mean death. It can mean destruction. It can mean overcoming, or overrunning somebody. So, when we're talking about my family, my pride, my sense of security being threatened, we can see someone possibly having a hand in doing something to someone to prevent that. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. Again, these folks are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. All right. So next question that we have is, and these should be pretty quick, these next questions. What about Kiarra's sister and mother or father having any involvement? Some people were saying that maybe it was some family members that may have had some involvement into Kierra Coles' disappearance. I energetically, when I was watching the show, like when I'm watching all the videos and when I'm looking at the articles, I didn't pick up on that. We got 8 of Wands in reverse. I'm going to pull from my little one with the Earth Oracle. I wasn't picking up on that. I could always be wrong, but I just wasn't energetically picking up on that. Some people were like, what was going on with the family? Oh, this is upside down stillness. This is telling me, if this was upright, this could be an affirmative card. That means, yes, somebody in her family may have had something to do with it. This is the 8 of Wands in reverse. This is stagnant energy, stopped energy, which is the negative, saying no. This is telling me no, her family did not have something to do with this. Some people were even trying to say her sister may have had something to do with it. I energetically did not pick up on it. What I picked up on it was her sister trying to find peace in a very difficult, painful situation, and how she deals with things is more abrupt, more fierce than what other people deal with. And, because some people were like, oh, why is she so, snappy? I'm using word, for lack of a better word. Why is she like this? Why is she like that? When people ask questions about her sister, it's because this is how she deals with it. How would anybody deal with the loss of their sister in such a way? Like, her sister has disappeared. So I'm not picking up that someone close to her in terms of her mom, dad, or sister had something to do with her family or has something to do with her disappearance. I'm not sensing that her immediate family has something to do with it. Okay. All right. So energies around any unknown parties. Any unknown parties to the investigation. Did they have, was there anything there? Anything there? And I apologize for background noises. Seven of Cups. There could be other parties, I'm sensing. There could be other parties that may know and have something to do with her disappearance. We got mountains, investigator, vehicle again. I shuffled this really good. To me, this is telling me that there are unknown parties that definitely could have had a hand in her disappearance. Now, they could be tied to the whole mess that was going on here with Kiarra Smith and Josh Simmons. But also there's other players that know what's going on, but chooses to keep it a secret. A mountain of evidence, a mountain of information, a mountain of you know, and maybe this is even representative of even where their physical locale is, but typically this is symbolic. The investigators who were investigating this case either needs to look at the other players and put a squeeze on people potentially around Kiarra Smith, around them, because also I need to share this with you guys. In my research, I found out that sometime not too early on, or not too far from when Kierra Coles disappeared, there was a physical altercation between her and Kiarra Smith. And so obviously when there's an altercation, there are people and players around that situation that know something, who have kept it a secret. The investigators need to explore that further if they haven't already, and that the investigators may have already explored it but hit a wall of sorts. And this also ties back to the vehicle information. Okay, so that's what we've got going on with that. So now let me see what happened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause, because first I need to tell these people in the background to be quiet, but also I'm going to pick up and we're going to do a second video to this. We're going to continue it further. I'll be right back.